The City of Miami Gardens presents JITG Music Fest featuring Maxwell, DeVito, Summer Walker, Jasmine Sullivan, Babyface, Kirk Franklin, Omarion, Jeezy, Scarface, Tink, Eric Bellinger, Tamia, Jaheim, DJ Cassidy's Pass the Mic Love, Marsha Ambrosia, October London, and more artists to be announced. Hosted by Jess Hilarious and Ricky Smiley. March 9th and 10th at Hard Rock Stadium. For tickets, visit jazzinthegardens.com.
Hey, everyone. Hello, my friends out there. I'm Alicia Curry, and I am here to give you the preview of Unleash Your Audacious Confidence. We're going to be live at 5 p.m. Eastern on Win Win Women TV, but I just wanted to share a little bit of myself with you and why this topic is so important to me that we're going to be talking about today. But before I get into that, I just want to say this is the final week, guys, to get your tickets for Jazz in the Gardens. It's March 9th and 10th in Miami Gardens. Yeah, it's featuring some great performers, so you don't want to miss it. So go to jazzinthegardens.com to get your tickets. So, Jazz in the Gardens this weekend here in South Florida. And not only do we have Jazz in the Gardens this weekend, but if you have time to join us for our hormone health workshop, we're also doing a workshop on March 9th from 4 to 6. This is in celebration of International Women's Day, hormone health for women. So if you want to find out more, go to alicia360.com and you can actually get your tickets directly there at alicia360.com for our hormone health workshop. So for those of you who are women who want to know more about your hormones and your hormone health, and I'm going to tell a little bit of my story about, I had no idea I was in perimenopause and when I got frozen shoulder and all the other things that we get that we don't know about, that the doctors don't even tell you about, that it's perimenopausal and you have to fight through it yourself to figure it out. Well, hormone expert Lydia Martinez Ebling is going to be sharing a lot of things for us to do for ourselves to even recognize that we have an imbalance, and then the things that we can do to balance out those hormones a lot better. So that's on March 9th at 4 to 6 in Fort Lauderdale at OsteoStrong. And OsteoStrong is also an amazing place that I go there for my bone therapy every week to help strengthen your bones instead of taking drugs. You can instead of taking, I don't even know what they're called anymore, to help you strengthen your bones. You can do it naturally through by loading at OsteoStrong. They help you really help give you more density in your bones and strengthen those bones and muscles and balance. So that's all important as you start aging. As we're aging, well, we start aging from the time we're born, but as we age, it's important to take care of our bone health, our hormone health, and all those things. So that's what we're going to be sharing on March 9th at OsteoStrong in Fort Lauderdale from 4 to 6. So come on out. So our show topic today, and like I said, this is a very personal topic for me, is defining your superpowers. We're going to be talking about that at 5 p.m. Eastern time on Win Win Women TV. You want to join us, go to redcarpetceo.com. This is going to be a powerful segment. Last week, we started talking about, the show was all about self-awareness. And do you have self-awareness? And I started giving you the importance of self-awareness. And this show is sort of an extension of that self-awareness show. And I'll tell you why I'm doing this, because as a woman who is also a Christian, I have been really blessed to be in an amazing place where I worship and I get a lot of great insight, great information, great spiritual knowledge. I'm fed the word of God really, really well where I go to church. And I made sure I wrote notes. So if I'm looking down this way, I wrote some notes because I wanted to say things in a particular way. And I didn't just want to ramble on and on and on. So if I look down, it's because I'm looking at the notes, not that I'm not paying attention to you. So the reason I'm sharing that I am a Christian woman and I've been fed really, we've been fed really well, the church that I go to, not because I'm trying to encourage you to come to the church that I go to or that you need to be like me, but I'm sharing that because before I started going there, I did not know that the differences in our spirit and our soul. I really didn't understand that. And there are very big differences between your spirit and your soul. And your soul, because we're triune beings, we're a spirit, we're soul, we have a soul, and we live in a body. And our soul is our mind, our will, and our intellect. Now, our mind is also in parts. Our mind is, we have our subconscious part of our mind and the conscious part of our mind. And even within that, our brain houses 3 different faculties or functions of how it actually operates. And there, psychologists have looked at, and neurologists, neuroscientists have looked at the brain in so many different ways. But I'm just going to talk about the 3 different faculties of our brain, which is the cognitive, that's our thinking brain, the affective, which is our feeling brain, our emotional brain, and the conative, which is our doing brain. And so when we start breaking up all these parts of ourselves, you really need to understand that our belief systems are also in 2 separate parts. We have our spiritual belief, so that's connected to our spirit man, and we have our soul beliefs, which is connected to that subconscious and conscious mind part of us, our environment, how we were raised. So beliefs are also segmented into these 2 different areas. And I did not understand all of that before, and how we could believe one thing but then operate so differently because we're believing in our spirit for something, and yet we're operating based on how our environment is or how we were raised, and those influences and those beliefs. And the spirit and the soul don't know how to talk to each other. We have to train our soul how to listen to the spirit, because the spirit's always talking to us. Our spirit inside of us is always talking to us. And some people say it's your intuition, some people call it different things, but your spirit is always talking to you. But your soul, your mind, is not always listening. And so what I'm endeavoring to do is to help you bridge that gap. And when you can understand when you can understand your strengths, when you can understand your superpowers, when you can build self-awareness, you can start to see how that dichotomy of what your spirit believes and what your soul believes, how that creates friction sometimes in how you act and behave and what's going on for you. You can start seeing what that friction is. And then when you build your self-awareness and you have these tools and you understand your superpowers, you can overcome some of that friction. I'm not sure if that's making sense to you, how it's coming out of my mouth, but it's really something that I've been studying for a long time. I'm passionate about learning more about these things and these tools and these different ways that we can understand our mind and our brain and how we operate and how we can be in alignment. And so today on the show, I'm talking specifically about How do you find and define those strengths of yours, those superpowers? When you look at superheroes, any superhero movie that you've ever looked at, there's a defining moment where they start recognizing their powers. There's that moment when something happens and it either triggers that power to come out and they're like, wait, where did that come from? Or they're realizing that something's different about them and they start developing it. If you don't know what those powers are, if you don't know how to define them, how can you use them effectively? How can you consciously engage them and develop them so that you can use them more and more and more and actually be more in alignment with your purpose and the power that you have? So that's what we're going to be diving into today. I hope you're as excited as I am, because I'm really excited to tackle this topic. So we will be live at 5 p.m. Eastern on Win Win Women TV. If you want to join us, go to redcarpetceo.com, and at 5 p.m. Eastern, you can click on that button that says join the show, and you will come into our studio audience. And just like any pre-taped studio audience show, you'll be in our live studio audience. The taping of the show will go on. And then once the taping is ended in 30 minutes, then we'll take off the recording. We'll allow you to unmute your mics, turn on your camera, and we'll have a discussion. And so if you want to join us, come join us live at 5. Go to redcarpetceo.com. And that's what we're going to be talking about. Like I said, it's something that's really deeply impacting me in my life, and learning these tools and learning how to really engage my strengths more and more and more. And that is because when we understand how God has actually created us to be, man, you really start feeling limitless, and not just in your opportunities, but in how you operate. And you operate with so much more grace, so much more ease, and so much more joy in your life. And my goal is for you to bring your best self to life, to this life that you have, that you're living. All right. So that's it. That's it for me. If you have any comments, I'd love to hear about them. If not, I'll see you on the show. And if you cannot make this live show, don't worry about it, because we share it on our YouTube channel every Friday. So you can go to redcarpetceo.com and check out the shows that we have listed there, or subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel. Here it is. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/@AliciaCurry. And you can catch any of our shows on the replay, as well as our podcast and all the other amazing content that we have listed on that platform. Don't forget to get your 7 secrets to audacious confidence. Go to alicia360.com, and where it says free gift, you can download the free gift of that ebook of the 7 secrets to audacious confidence, and you can find your talents, assets, gifts, and skills as well. All right, I will see you all next week for another episode, another preview episode of Unleash Your Audacious Confidence. I hope you have the best week moving forward, and happy International Women's Week. And Women's Day is on Friday. So go do something really great to celebrate this week on International Women's Week. And this is Women's History Month. So go celebrate Women's History Month as well. And it's also a lot of other, it's National Disabilities Awareness Month as well. It's Wear Red Day is coming up. So there's a lot of stuff going on. So, go celebrate with someone who is also celebrating those events. All right. I will talk to you all later. Mwah, 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 mwah. See you on another episode, pre-show episode of Unleash Your Audacious Confidence. Mhm.